on the couch and eat potato chips. As long as they enroll, this is my understanding, as long as the people on those assisted programs enroll in retraining, attempt to get a job, try and retain themselves, they will retain their benefits. If they sit on the couch eating potato chips, they're going to lose them. Millions of low-income Americans are expected to lose their benefits because of the work requirements and the bill's other measures affecting Medicaid and food stamps. Notably, few of those dropped from Medicaid coverage would have access to job-based health insurance, according to a Congressional Budget Office report about the House version of the package. Those in the lowest income group, earning less than $18,000 a year, would see a $165 reduction in their after-tax, after-transfer income once the safety net cuts are taken into account. According to Penn Wharton, that's a 1.1% decrease. The next level, who earn between $18,000 and $53,000, would get a $30 bump in income. Middle-income households would see their income rise by 1.4% or 1.8%. They earn between $53,000 and $96,000 a year. And just to put that into perspective, y'all, if you're working, if you've got a two-income family, you're making $20 an hour, you're working full-time, that's $80,000 a year. Two-income family, $20 an hour full-time, that's $80,000 a year household income. The health provisions won't only hit low-income Americans. The Senate is also tightening verification requirements for the Affordable Care Act, federal premium subsidies, which could also leave some middle-income Americans uninsured. All told, the bill could result in more than 10 million more people being uninsured, according to reports. Hospitals are not happy with the health care provisions of the bill, which would reduce the support they receive from states to care from Medicaid enrollees and leave them with more uncompensated care costs for treating uninsured patients. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The Senate removed a last-minute excise tax on wind and solar that experts warned would have been a killer for the clean energy industry. However, the Senate bill still strips tax incentives for wind, solar, and other renewable energy projects. The American Clean Power Association slammed the legislation as a step backward for American energy policy that will eliminate jobs and raise electric bills. Electric vehicle makers could also be left worse off because the GOP bill ends the EV tax credit of up to $7,500 at the end of September. Previously, those tax cuts were scheduled to last through 2032. The package would increase the deficit. This is what I think is a killer. The deficit would increase by almost $3.5 trillion over the next decade, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Adding trillions to the debt risks lifting already elevated interest rates. That in turn will make it more expensive for Americans to finance the purchase of a car or a home, and for businesses to borrow money to grow. Not only that, but higher rates would force the federal government to devote even greater resources to finance its own mountain of debt. The Congressional Budget Office expects U.S. federal government interest costs to surpass $1 trillion per year. United States spending on interest has already more than tripled since 2017, surpassing what the federal government entire defense budget. And there you have it, the one big beautiful bill act. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to see you. We encourage everybody to come on up. You can talk about this, or you can talk about whatever you want. Have a take and don't suck. And with that, let's say hello to our mod squad. I've assembled the best mod squad in the history of Clubhouse. They've got a wide variety of fields of expertise and knowledge. And Scott, good morning. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting.
Good morning, my Uncle Steve. What the hell's happened? Loved the pop-up room yesterday. Love when my Uncle Steve, I love when Uncle Steve goes after dark, especially. That is my vintage Uncle Steve. That's when I put my personal replays on and make the vintage Uncle Steve. These are like the Nixon tapes, the Uncle Steve tape.
Except I don't erase any. I keep all the replays on.
Uncle Steve, I will just say this about the beautiful bill. Okay, we love that.